Hey guys, it's Katie at scrapbook.ctmh.com, and I have a quick process video showing you the December Craft with Heart layout subscription from Close to My Heart. I am pulling out the December kit right now, and it comes with an instruction sheet and two-page layouts, die cuts for each layout, as well as stickers, and they're labeled, and it comes with bases as well as photo mats and page protectors. So everything you need except for your photos is included in each kit. So I have pulled some Christmas photos of my son and his girlfriend from last year, which I'm kind of glad I took time to scrapbook them because they just are perfect for this kit. So I'm going to start with layout 1, which has this candy apple and peach gingham. And then I'm just going to punch out all the die cuts for layout 1. I've done that off camera. And now I'm just going to lay everything out. And so you've got a square photo mat as well as some 3x4 and another 3x3 photo mat. And then you've got some stickers that just go on the bottom of that striped printed part on that layout base. And so on this layout, because it has the candy apple red, I am using the photos that don't have the red blanket in them. And then I'll use the red blanket one for the ones that are predominantly black and white. So as you can see, there are a lot of photos to choose from, and it's really hard for me to choose which one I like. So here in a second, I'll show you that I end up using flip-flaps. So the cool thing about this layout, and I love also these Craft with Hearts because you kind of learn something new or you're reminded of techniques. And so what happened was they have done the peach photo mats for this layout, but as you can see, those that 3x4 and then the top 3x3, the photo mat doesn't go all the way across. And I really like that look. You'll see it here in a second, the finished look, but that's another thing you can do to kind of add. I think it adds, not only dimension, but I think it just adds that special something that makes you look at the layout a little bit closer. And so right here, this is the 3x3 photo. And as you can see on that other page, the accompanying page, those photo mats really are intended to only be 1/4 of an inch larger, so you have 1/8 of an inch, but I ended up trimming my photos on this side to where you had 1/4 of an inch mat all around. So the instructions are telling me that it's going to be 2.5 inches from the bottom. So I pulled out my T-ruler and I'm going to measure that up, and then once I have this photo in place, this square one really goes on rather easily. And then the instructions say that the top 3x3 should be 1/4 of an inch from that 3x4. And then right here, I'm just using my Monotombo adhesive to apply that die cut down. And so this says joy, and then my sticker sheet says so much. And so I like to use a T-ruler to make sure everything is lined up. And then I like to use my paper piercer and sometimes my non-stick micro tip scissors, just depending on which ones I can grab the fastest. And so I just peel up a corner of that sticker and then lay them down. And then it's got a few hollies. Some of them have berries, some of them don't. So this one calls for the one with berries. And then there's a grouping of Christmas tree and then that sled and the presents. So the layout calls for that to actually go on the left, but being that 4x4 photo on the left, all of it is photo of them, I didn't want to hide any of their faces. So I've decided to put it on the right. And even though that sled is kind of facing to the left, you know how you usually like to close off your embellishments, I think because there's so much joy at the top, I think that closes it off. And so I quickly realized that there should be this little black twig behind there. So I've just cut off the end and kind of shoved it in there. And then I think it needs some glitter. So I'm pulling out my red shimmer brush and just coloring those berries and then the balls on the tree. And then I'm going to pull out my sugar plum, which is no longer available, and color the present and then the pink balls on that tree. So now it's time for the accompanying layout. Again, I'm going to lay down my photo mats, and the instructions tell me that bottom one is 2.5 inches from the bottom. So I'm going to line it up first, and then that top one's going to be 1/4 of an inch from that bottom one. And then so now I'm going to pick my photos here, and here's where I decide there's just too many. So I'm going to do 2 flip-flaps. And flip-flaps just allow you to add more photos to a layout. You could also use maybe a memory protector that only has photo slots. We have several of that pocket scrapbooking that allows for that. But I really wanted to do flip-flaps. I haven't done them in a while. And believe it or not, way back before flip-flops were even a thing, my teaching partner and I taught at our annual convention, and that was back when you had to apply to teach, and so you had to come up with your own thing. And so we taught interactive page protectors. And so we showed how you could add smaller page protectors, how you could cut your 12 by 12 page protectors, basically add flip-flaps, and everything like that. So I was really excited when Close to My Heart actually came out with the product. So now there's another grouping of stickers with a tree and some holly and then a little saying. And so, of course, this holly, since the berries are hidden, they didn't even add them. And then I've just added 3D foam tape to that little circle. And then again, I forgot the black twigs. So I'm just pulling that up and adding those in. And then now I'm going to start on this layout. And so again, this layout is really just black and white. So I love using these photos that have the pops of red in that blanket that they're using. And so you couldn't really see it on here, but there was a line drawn on, on this layout base. There you can see it. And so I used my photo to rest on that line and then added those gingham stickers on the left and the right. And then this floral piece, I guess, I don't know what you really call it, but it's going to be a bar of, I love that all the evergreen is already punched out for you. And I'm just using my paper piercer to kind of get in there and get all those little bitty pieces. And so this bar is going to go under my photo. So I make a little mistake here. And I should have put the bottom of the bar on top of the line, but I did the top of the bar. And so the black and white gingham stickers on the sides aren't going to really line up as intended. But if I didn't tell y'all that, you really wouldn't know. That's how easy these layouts are to do. You can do as intended, or you can go out on your own and do whatever you'd like. So again, if I put them down a little bit, you'd be able to see that green bar, and I really didn't want that to happen. So I'm just adding the ornament stickers down there. None of them are pop dotted or anything. And then my layout, I'm going to use this adhesive backed foam, and I'm just applying more adhesive. That one really wasn't that sticky. And so I'm going to adhere it down, and there are 2 tags that go on the side of this. And so I'm just going to tuck those in, make sure, of course, with my tea ruler that photo is as straight as it can be. And then these photos just get kind of tucked under. These tags get tucked under that photo. And then I'm going to add some hearts. And then the title, which says Merry Christmas. So the C is by itself, and then the rest of the word is all one, and it's scripted. So you have to kind of be gentle when you pull it off the carrier sheet. But other than that, it really comes up easily. I didn't have to do anything special. My paper piercer really got into those little crevices to make sure I didn't tear it. And so you put it down. I did not use the T-ruler for this because it is scripted. It really wasn't going to be straight. But this Mary, I'm going to go ahead and pull it out to make sure I can get it as straight as possible. And I was kind of worried about the photo saying Happy Holidays and my title saying Merry Christmas, but being that I prefer Merry Christmas, I really like it, and I don't think it looks odd to have basically two titles. And so I added that little pink heart or peach heart, and then now I'm going to do the right side. So there is a black sticker border, and then that black photo mat that's on there, that's actually pre-printed on the layout base, as well as those journaling lines. So my instructions tell me where to put this photo mat. And then I'm just going to put the stickers as told, which is a scallop border and another tag to bring those tags over to that right side, as well as the evergreen floral or fern. I don't really know what this is. I guess it's kind of like the Christmas tree branches. And then this lighter green, which I believe is julep, but I could be wrong. And then another ornament. And on this one, I decided to add 3D foam tape. So I'm going to take the sticky off with my anti-static pouch and then add the foam tape to the ornament and then add some stars. And here I realized that I missed a star over on the left, as well as the dot to the eye. So I add that. And then I'm going to go through my photos. And so again, on this layout, there's just so many of these photos I loved. So I'm going to use a flip flap. And so I'm just going to decide which to do. And I really like that photo. I really should have probably put that one on the top. But of course I decided not to. Hindsight 2020, right? So then there's that 3x4. And then these little round, there's a Christmas tree and then there's a little sentiment. So I'm taking the sticky off with my anti-static pouch and then using 3D foam tape. This little tree, again, hindsight, I probably should have put on the flip flap itself and not on the photo, but it all works out in the end. Right here, I love another class that I taught at Extravaganza, close to my heart's annual convention, was how to use all the negative spaces of stickers. Back then, we had a bunch of chipboard elements, and so I taught how to use those as well on your layouts. So I just cut those off so I can use them later. And so here's where I thought, well, I didn't want that down there, but it's really stuck, so it's not going anywhere. So I'm going to add the flip flap, and it's just going to go right there. And if you girls don't know what flip flap is, that means you just flip it open and you can see other photos. So here's a look at all the layouts in the page protectors. And again, oh, I guess I didn't do those flip flaps on that layout. So I'm going to do those right quick. And then again, this is the December kit, both of these layouts. So two-page layouts come in the December Craft with Heart. So you can order a monthly subscription, or you can do the annual or the 4-month subscription. The annual is paid all up front, but you get 4 months at a time. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and I will link the Craft with Heart subscription down below. Thanks. Have a good night.